mute everything, start the recording, switch screens. Alright, so welcome back, guys, from our month hiatus. This is our 26th or 27th session. I'm really looking forward to it. I do have two sort of quick announcements. The first, as I said yesterday, I am sort of feeling out a game of Star Trek Adventures on Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you are interested in playing in said game, there should be a link now on my Twitter. It should be very near the top, if not the top tweet, so you don't have to scroll down too far. Pretty simple app, just asks you a few questions and confirms that you're able to make it, things like that. I will say at the moment we're missing science and operations and Helm, so we'll see what happens with the apps. The other announcement I have is mostly for the benefit of my players, and I'll say that I've only planned but so much for this session, mostly because we're going to be doing fleet combat. And to the best of my knowledge, this would be the first time fleet combat is shown on a stream. So, and it's also my first time running it, so we're gonna make some mistakes, but I'm gonna try to keep us to the fleet rules as much as possible. But that said, it is a very strategic and RNG based sort of mini system, and things could very well go tits up 5 minutes in. I have a little bit prepared if that happens, but I guess we'll just have to see where the dice roll. Other than that, unless any of you have any announcements, I actually have the personal log to start us off.
The only stuff I have would be post game, so we can just handle it then.
Okay. So, in that case, I'll start us off. So, Stardate 50258.3, Admiral Haru's personal log. When I took the job of being the Admiralty's liaison to Narendra Station, I had imagined I'd be able to put my feet up and relax. I certainly didn't expect conflict to break out in the Shackleton Expanse, much less between the Klingon Empire and the Federation. I've been running ragged these past few months, trying to keep the peace, and yet, it seems all for naught. I firmly believe that open conflict with the Klingons is weeks, maybe days, or even hours in the future. They are eager for a fight, and damn if I won't give them one. We absolutely cannot afford to lose Narendra Station. To that end, I've called in Captain Tahan to impart some rather crucial information regarding the Arcadia and its place in the upcoming battle. I dare not say any more on the subject for fear of Klingon eavesdroppers. End log. And yeah, if you've been keeping up with the star dates, that means it's been about 3.5 months since our last session. So there is some quick RP time for you all to sort of decide what your characters were doing in that time span. So I guess we'll start with the captain and work our way down.
Sure. I believe we've discussed getting my my prosthetic spine replaced, repaired, refitted, all of that good stuff.
Yes, I will say that the operation was a resounding success. You're feeling much better, and there have been no adverse effects thus far.
Now, did we go with another prosthetic, or did we go with the synthetic?
That I leave to the captain to decide.
At this point, I'm really comfortable with the prosthetics, so I kind of want to keep with those.
All right, so there you go. Prosthetic it is. All right. Anything else, Captain?
I might have something else, but I'm going to think about that while other people go.
Okay. So Crowley, what are you up to?
Everyone's seen a big increase in Crowley's presence during multiple shifts. Instead of just doing the 2 rotation, he would do a 3, and then he'd go to 2, then he would have his time off. Just feeling better about everything ever since he's gotten healed. Putting the ship through standard training, doing drills with everyone, starting his way from upper command, going way down, even to the crewmen in the lower decks, making sure everyone has gotten at least some training. It's been 3 months, so I'd say he's probably done 1 full rotation with everyone on the ship.
Okay.
And he's set up a 4 rotation, actually. 4 shift rotation. Due to just, the training he's putting everyone in. Give everyone a little bit more downtime. make sure everyone's fine. Other than that, spending time with some of the crew members, trying to get to know people some more. He's actually been having and hosting cooking at his quarters.
Okay.
He's invited. I know he would invite the captain a few times. Just try and get everyone to know them a little bit better.
All right. Counselor, what are you up to?
I guess during this time with the possible dangers of fighting against the Klingons, I would actually be checking up on the morale of everybody on the ship. Just check mental states, emotional states, see how everybody's doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically all I'd be doing.
Okay. I think the key ticket item to take away from that is that obviously there's a growing sense of anxiety. As Haru has mentioned in her log, the common sentiment is that conflict about the station is probably inevitable at this point.
Okay.
And then
Gotcha.
we have the doctor, I believe.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that he'd be going about his regular duties of making sure that everybody was physically fit and all of that jazz. I'm sure he probably was not the lead, but the assist on the captain's surgery. And other than that, I think that he's trying to, he never took the Kolinar, so I feel like Sabo probably thinks that it's illogical for him to cut off emotion when he is going to be on board a ship full of, emotional people that he doesn't want to cut off all emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably trying to interact in a very stiffly sort of way to try to interact and get to know the crew members. He probably wanted to go to the commander's cooking get-togethers just to observe culinary things and see how people interact with each other and attempt to interact himself, probably failing spectacularly, but yeah.
Okay.
Actually,
So we've gone down the list at this point. Did anyone have anything they'd like to add before we jump into the scene between the captain and the admiral?
yeah, would it be okay if me and a doctor did a little RP since he's been coming to my cook-offs?
Sure. I don't think I have a theater of the mind thing, so we'll just use our imaginations here.
I'd actually like to make this just like a private dinner. It's just me and the doctor.
Okay.
Traditional Vulcan cooking. And along with the Vulcan port at the table.
A wise selection.
I figured I'd make something homely. How you been finding yourself aboard the ship, Doctor?
Oh, it has been educational, Commander.
In what way?
I've not had a lot of interaction with some of these other species, and not only learning their biology, but also learning their cultures has been interesting.
I guess that's something I've been fortunate with. As you know, father was a Vulcan and mother was a Betazoid, and I was raised on Earth. So I got to experience a bit of 3 different worlds. But everyone that I've met so far that's in Starfleet all seem to have what's the word? Curiosity and motivation to explore. It's a strange feeling that Betazoids or empaths could feel.
I
Kind of alluring.
imagine that the relationship between your mother and your father was intriguing.
Well, from what I remember, the few stories that I can still recall, he was very stubborn at first. He was a good man, though. Tell me, I noted that you don't typically do the normal Vulcan routines. I've started doing meditation to try and suppress some outbursts and some stronger emotions in the last few months. Um, if you'd like, I'd love for you to join into meditation.
He kind of pauses a little bit. That would be acceptable. Typically, meditation is done privately. I'm not, which I still do. As I've mentioned to you before, I did not participate in Kolinar, but I do meditate, and I've typically done that alone. But I would not be adverse to sharing the experience.
No, the ship is equipped with a very pleasant garden. It's very centering. And how have you found other Vulcans when they find out that you haven't gone through the Kolinar? I haven't either, due to my unique nature.
It's not highly unusual, I believe, for the Vulcans to not pursue Kolinar. I don't believe that all do. That's me as a player. I'm not actually 100% sure.
It's all over the place. There's no like rule that you have to go through it or anything.
Well, Vulcans that have gone through the Kolinar ceremony and through the Kolinar ritual, of course, find it highly illogical that I would not want to pursue such an endeavor. But I've not found any hostility, of course.
Yeah, you've been fortunate in that regard, then. I've felt the oddities of Vulcans when they find out that I did not go to the Kolinar, or that I'm a half-breed. It seems that's a little bit of a stronger emotion reaction they produce, which they don't want to admit to. It's funny when I bring it up to them.
I see.
But I want to try and get everyone more active with everyone. You're one of the people that I have noted during the gatherings that you like to be a wallflower. So,
interaction in what humans refer to as small talk is not something that I am used to. Clearly does not come naturally to our people. Yet, I feel that as someone that has the responsibilities that I do aboard this vessel, that trying to interact and trying to understand would be advantageous to not only my work, but to the interactions that I would have with people aboard this vessel.
I understand that. But you are here to seek out new life and new cultures and new ways. Interacting with people, even aboard this ship alone, is doing a bit of that mission at least.
Agreed.
And I'm sure small talk will come with you in time.
Thank you, Commander.
And thank you again for all the work you've done. On me and Maddock and the rest of the crew. The last person I need to try and stop being a wallflower is Carruthers. He's been missing the last few cook-offs, I've noticed.
Perhaps a conversation with the counselor and Carruthers would be to his benefit.
I'll mention it to the counselor. Oh, please, enjoy.
Thank you, Commander.
Yeah. Typical Vulcan meal in silence, then.
Right?
Yeah, I figured. All right, cool. Anything anyone else has to add? Because if not, we will get to the quote-unquote meat of the session. Okay. So we're going to cut to the Admiral's office, because I will never pass up an opportunity to use her amazing token. Captain, you kind of go into the office. Admiral Haru asks you to sit down, and she kind of looks at you for a moment and says, "So, Captain, tell me, what is your assessment of the current state of relationships between the Klingons and the Federation?
I'm sorry, I've never seen her token before.
Oh, it's great.
That's amazing. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, it's not good. The Klingons have always enjoyed battle, and for most in the Klingon Defense Force, this will be their first time to be allowed to engage against Starfleet. And this is a challenge that they will not easily surrender. They're looking forward to this.
Yes, that was my thoughts exactly. I don't think I need to tell you that the fight is coming, and unfortunately it's going to be sort of monumentous, I suppose. Whoever ends up winning this conflict is more than likely going to control not only Narendra Station, but access to access to the Shackleton Expanse as we know it.
Well, Admiral, the Arcadia and her crew will do anything to protect the station. I think you already know that.
Yes, to that end, I actually have some orders for you. And rather than say them out loud, she sort of slides over a pad for you to look at.
I'll reach over and take a look.
Alright, so your orders are to join the USS Bellerophon, a Intrepid-class vessel, one of the other 3 vessels that is operating in the Shackleton Expanse. There's the Bellerophon, which is an Intrepid, the Adventure, which is a Galaxy, and the Thunderchild, which is an Akira. So you're joining the Intrepid to basically sit about 5 minutes away at maximum warp, in the middle of pretty much empty space. And the Bellerophon and the Arcadia will power down, so it looks like there's nothing in the area. And then you pretty much wait until conflict breaks out and you're called in. You also see on the pad that there is sort of a pincer maneuver that is in design, in that as you and the Bellerophon come in, the Venture is going to come in from another angle. So it's sort of I guess you would call it a bait, where they are just, you as Starfleet are just going to have the Akira-class Thunderchild off station, and hopefully to bait out the Klingon attack so that, you know, it's not a surprise attack or anything of that nature.
I wonder if I may offer some advice.
By all means, Captain.
I think this is a great plan. What does the Klingon intelligence force know about our fleet operations? Hopefully very little. But we have to imagine that they're always trying to figure out what they are.
Indeed, that's why I've handed you your offers in person rather than attempting an open comm channel.
Well, I think I could devise a slightly encrypted, enough to fool anyone to think it's legitimate, and provide some disinformation to the Klingon fleet, suggesting that we are reinforcing other areas of Federation space.
Well, I mean, if you believe you can accomplish this, given the time frame, I would certainly approve of such.
I could get it done within the next few days. Otherwise, I think this would just help legitimize and make the trap ever sweeter.
Understood. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about, Captain, and this may be premature, as pretty much anything could happen with this upcoming fight. How do you feel about Commander Crowley? Do you feel that he is ready for his own command?
I do. However, I must be honest that he takes risks that I do not approve of. But he does so selflessly, and always in the best interest of his ship and his crew. I think this makes him unideal as a first officer, but excellent as a captain.
It's a fair assessment. I ask because we have a few ships that are coming out of space dock that could use a new captain, and Crowley's name has come up more than once.
If I'm being honest, he's being underutilized right now by Starfleet.
Understood. I will take that feedback to heart. Oh, one other thing, Captain. I forgot to mention earlier that obviously the Arcadia will be handling the fight out in space, but if you wish to leave any security personnel behind to aid in assuring the Klingons will not take the station itself, that would be much appreciated.
I will coordinate with my security officers, and I believe we can leave a compliment behind.
Excellent. Well, that is all I have for you, Captain. If there's nothing else, you are dismissed.
Just because he would make a good captain, I would miss losing a great first officer.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. I mean, how many times have we offered Riker a promotion and he still hasn't taken it?
Touche? All right. Thank you, Admiral.
She nods and goes back to, Admiral-type paperwork. And yeah, you would return to the Arcadia at this point, so I'll put you back on this map. And yeah, your orders regarding the sort of honey trap has them taking place as soon as possible. So either you want to work on your proposed encryption scheme, or you want to get the Arcadia where it should be as fast as possible.
Mine and then the setting the trap.
Okay.
And then also getting a complement of security officers that we can spare to the station.
Okay. So Sin will pretty much draw up a list of security personnel that she believes will be sufficient to aid the station. It includes Ensign Rouge, and it includes, I'd say, about 20 to 30 other security individuals who have not been named, but have performed admirably in Crowley's sort of self-training exercises. The only other NPC of note that I think is worth mentioning at this time, Los would be staying behind. He would be remaining on the Arcadia in case of any security breach here.
Okay.
And yeah, as for your encryption thing, tell me a little bit more about how you're going to accomplish it.
I'm going to use an old encryption that I think the Klingons might already know how to decode.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make it a little bit newer than that, but something I think they could figure out pretty easily.
Okay.
And it's just fake information about where we're sending these ships.
All right. I feel like this is a certain task, so let me look it up real fast.
Daring security?
Nah. This would be some sort of a hail. Let's see. Why is my PDF not working? If anyone can find it for me, I'm looking very specifically for the ship combat rules in regards to signal jamming. Because I think
I've got it here on page 224.
Thank you.
Control engineering assisted by communication security.
Okay, and let's see. Yeah, you get to choose the difficulty. So what would be your chosen difficulty? 1, 2, or 3?
So we're adapting it. I am trying to make something that is easily decodable.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go difficulty 2.
Okay.
All right, and then control engineering assisted by communication security.
Yep. So who's rolling for the ship?
I'll roll for the ship since we
Okay.
don't have our lovely Helms officer with us.
Yeah, and it would be communications and security.
Okay.
And for fun, I'm going to give you one threat to add a third die to my roll.
Okay.
Also, I think that might get us some momentum. And I'll take my subspace communication focus.
Oh, yeah. All right, so you get a momentum. All right, so it actually doesn't take you all that long to sort of come up with a cry wolf scenario, I suppose, and sort of embed it so that it can be either broadcast immediately or at your convenience.
Let's have that sent out. And yeah, let's do that now.
Okay.
And then we'll go ahead and once everyone's in their readied stations, we can head out.
All right. So, as it turns out, you have the Arcadia fly out to meet the Bellerophon. You shut everything down to minimal power levels, and you wait. And you keep waiting. Hours pass, days, and I'm just curious what everyone might be up to during this wait period. It's expected that you would be called upon at any minute, so try to keep that in mind before you get too involved with any one particular thing.
I'm going to check on Reeve.
Okay.
Let's see how he's doing.
You hail the Bellerophon and try to raise Reeve then?
Yep.
All right. So, of course, Reeve will appear on the screen and say, "Commander, I wish I could say it was a pleasure seeing you, but I think we both know that'd be a lie."
It's a pleasure seeing you.
Yes, I've taken quite well to my new station here on the Bellerophon.
That's good to hear. I just wanted to see how you're doing.
I'm doing fine. I don't really have many complaints anymore.
Look, we're gonna head into something hairy. I want you to make sure that you stay alive.
I mean, it's not like I'm going to do anything that's going to get me killed, but I guess we'll have to see what happens.
Don't stay next to overloading consoles.
So don't be on the ship at all. Got it.
Take care of yourself.
You do the same, Commander.
Have a good one, Reeve.
Yeah, he doesn't even say goodbye. The screen just ends.
I would like to coordinate some work with the counselor,
Okay.
Milan.
Okay.
It's my amateur understanding that people might be stressed just waiting for a battle. And I'm wondering what you would suggest we do for our crew's schedule to maintain preparedness and ease stress in any way possible for our crewmen.
Well, considering the situation, it might be hard. All the crew is fairly anxious. I guess the best we could really do for them is just talk with them, and if they might need some kind of shift off while waiting to have time for themselves, that might be something they need.
Perhaps we do an increased number of shifts, but I do want to keep people working to keep their mind on from wandering too far.
I can't agree with that, Captain. If need be, I can actually take on extra shifts so I can go around the ship and try to keep the crew as calm as I can, but other than that, I'm not too sure what to do about the situation, honestly.
Well, I'll defer to your expertise, Counselor.
Thank you, Captain. And I guess I would follow the Captain's suggestion of possibly making extra shifts, and then I would personally just be going around the ship and talking to each crew member just to see if I can do anything to help any of them mentally and emotionally while we're waiting.
Okay. All right. Any other little activities while you kind of wait?
I want to go over the schematic of the Sovereign class. The moment we are going to be told to engage battle, non-essential personnel will to fall back to holding points, choke points, and points in between if we are in close. If once the moment we get into transporter range, I want to turn hallways into vacuums.
Okay.
So if anyone beams aboard, they got nothing to breathe.
All right. Now you do realize that that could go both ways. If the Klingons figure it out, they are just going to beam into where everybody is and won't be very
Yeah.
pretty.
They beam into a room with a bunch of armed personnel.
Uh, Possibly. We'll play it out if it comes to that.
Alright. That's the idea. It's choke points, fortified positions.
All right. So, all that happens, and I would say 3 days total pass. And it is about this time that you do receive a emergency distress call from Narendra Station. And it's probably what you feared. The message simply says, to any and all Starfleet vessels in the area, we are under attack by the Klingons. We are holding our own on the station, but in space, it's only the Thunderchild out there. We need any and all Federation vessels as soon as possible.
Who's sending the message?
It does not sound like Haru. It just sounds like some other officer, possibly an ensign. It doesn't really say who it's from.
I would like to check the veracity of the message.
Okay. I guess roll a insight and security. Difficulty 1. All right, you get a momentum. Yeah, sure enough, it is a genuine distress call. This is what you have been waiting for.
All right, Lieutenant Janice, that's our cue. Let's get the Arcadia back to Narendra Station as quickly as possible.
Aye, sir. And I will now put you guys on this map and explain a little bit about what you're seeing and how things are going to play out. So, very importantly, you're going to see that each token has 2 bars. And each of those bars represents something different from normal Starship combat. The blue bar represents the attack value of a ship, and the orange bar represents the defense. Now, the key mechanic to fleet combat is basically rolling a number of challenge die equal to your attack or your defense score. And obviously, whatever ship has a higher result succeeds and damages the other ship. Each ship gets 2 actions in combat unless it's damaged, in which case it only gets 1. If you damage an already damaged ship, then it is considered disabled, destroyed, or whatever else is thematically appropriate to take it out of the fight. Now, just so you're not completely lost here, I've gone ahead and made a handout of command page 100. It should be under Fleet Actions as a handout in Roll20. And basically, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things you can do as part of your 2 actions. What I will say though is so every time you attack or every time you defend, your appropriate score goes down. So if you defend, your defense decreases by 1, etc., etc., etc. And at the top of every round, that resets. Okay. Now that said, if you were to click on any of the Federation ships, you should see a little macro bar pop up on the top left of your screen. And if you hit attack or defense, it'll automatically do the roll, detract the score, etc. Regroup is the other major action I have to tell you about. If a ship is damaged, they may regroup, and basically they roll their current defense score against the scale of their ship. And that is basically how we also get attack and defense scores. It's equal to the scale of the ship. If you are able to get your scale or higher in challenge die results, then you repair whatever damage you have. Other than that, the only other mechanic at play here is going to be 1 eye roll for the station, but we'll deal with that as we come to it. So again, to sort of set the scene, the Arcadia and Bellerophon jump to high warp and arrive pretty much where you see it on the screen. You see that the Thunderchild is about to square off with a Vorcha class to the south of the map, and sort of on the other side of the station from you are two Burrell class wings comprised of two Bird of Praise each, as well as another Vorcha. And yeah, I'm going to let you all decide who would like to go first, whether it be the Arcadia, the Bellerophon, or the Thunderchild. And you would be controlling the Bellerophon, the Thunderchild, and the Venture, as well as the Arcadia. So it's not like I'm going to be making decisions for you. Only for the Klingons.
The Venture's not here yet?
The Venture is a little bit behind and will arrive at the second round.
Got it.
I'm reading through these, and so one of the things Feint does is it makes the enemy count as having defended 2 additional attacks. Is there a limit on how many times a vessel can defend itself?
Yes, it's the same thing with attack. If either your attack or your defense reaches 0, you're automatically hit.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing we're the tactically superior vessel, so we're in charge.
Yes, part of the orders would have been to grant, I guess you would call it temporary Commodore status to Captain Tahan.
Ooh, Commodore Tahan. Alright. What do you want to do, Commodore?
Let's focus fire on the smaller ships, the Burrell Wing number 2.
Okay. So the one thing I will say, in order to attack at medium range, you do have to be 1 unit. It's not like our normal hex combat. So medium range, you pretty much have to be right next to them. Close would be the same square, and long range would be anything beyond 1 square. I probably should change the units, but anything beyond 1 square is long range, and if you, for some reason, try to fire at past that, then it's at extreme range.
So I guess our first move would be advance to get up multiple zones.
Yeah, you can move 2 zones. But that'd be one of your actions, and then it would go to the Klingons, then back to you guys, etc., etc.
I like that and not keeping the initiative, because I know we do have quick action.
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't do that, the Klingons will move forward as well, and that does our work for us.
All right, well, if you are advancing, go ahead and plop the Arcadia down where you want it to go.
So 2 zones is just 2 squares.
Yep.
Loop.
All right, and that is your 1 action. So the Klingons are... The Vorcha is actually going to come up to here on the Thunderchild, and that'll be its 1 action. And then it is your all's turn again.
So if we're moving as a fleet, would the Bellerophon would have moved up with us?
No, so every single ship acts on its own, but I'm letting you guys as players decide what they do.
What's the scale for Narendra Station?
So Narendra Station is a scale 10. However, until one side, either the Klingons or the Federation, control the station completely, it will not be helping with starship combat.
Or hindered, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Has the station been boarded?
Part of the distress call would have been to say that the Klingons were actively assaulting Federation personnel on the station.
Okay.
Should we send the Bellerophon to assist the Thunderchild?
I would say let's keep the Bellerophon with us because we're going to get outnumbered if we're by ourselves.
Is that an Akira class, the Thunderchild?
Yep.
The Venture's coming in too.
Do we know which heading that's coming in from?
You do know that the Venture is coming in from the bottom left, somewhere in that range.
Okay, I like that. Do we want to move the Bellerophon up with us?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
What's their con score?
So their con score, I'm glad you brought it up. They are able to move 3 zones because they have a con score of 4 and above.
Let's move on one more.
All right, and that is the Bellerophons. So, kind of to give you an example of how things go, the same Vorcha that I moved up is going to attack the Thunderchild. If one of you would select the Thunderchild's token and hit the defense button,
Sure,
you'll
I'll
get to
do it.
see what happens. All right. Okay, so thematically, what happens is the Vorcha class goes in for an attack run on the Thunderchild, and the captain of the Thunderchild expects this. Like, this is textbook Klingon maneuvering, and he is prepared for it. So as the Vorcha comes in, the Thunderchild uses its phaser arrays to sort of lead it into a waiting torpedo, which they had launched before and sort of left adrift in space. So the Vorcha is struck and is damaged. And yeah, we come back around to your guys' turn.
Huh. Huh. Hmm. Here.
Well, all we can do is move up again.
Well, you could also have the Thunderchild attack.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
I'm considering work. We could move and maybe provide some. That'd be too far out of transporter range. I was thinking of maybe sending some personnel to Narendra Station.
Yeah, you'd need to be next to it to do that.
The Bellerophon could do that.
Yeah, the Bellerophon could do that.
What do you guys think of that?
That sounds good.
No arguments here.
All right, so go ahead and move the Bellerophon 2 squares, and let's make this a very simple transport roll. Basically, roll 2d20, and your target number is a 13 or below. And since the difficulty is only 2, we'll see what happens.
I'll do the roll.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, get the 2 successes you need. So yes, the Bellerophon is able to send over some additional defense parties to the Narendra Station. And I will mark that with a green. And that is the Bellerophon's action. All right, we come back around to the Klingons. And the Burrell Bird of Praise are going to go 1, 2, and then interestingly, they go 3. They don't come on a straight vector towards you. That is their one action, and we come back around to you guys.
Thunderchild should attack.
Yeah, so
I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and click the attack macro, and I will do the same for the Vorcha.
Alright.
Yeah,
Hey.
so out of curiosity, would you like this Vorcha destroyed, disabled, or something else entirely?
Disabled.
All right, so again, the Thunderchild seems to be extremely prepared for this eventuality and disables the Vorcha class by, again, leading it into some pre-prepared photon torpedo casings. You can probably imagine from here that the captain of the Vorcha is cursing a string of Klingon curse words at this eventuality. But the second Vorcha is, for all intents and purposes, disabled and out of combat. All right, so we roll back around to the Burrell, and they are going to do a attack run on you guys. So because they have a similar score to the Intrepid class, they are able to move 2 squares instead of just the 1. So they're going to come right up to here and make an attack on the Arcadia. So your defense number to beat is a 6.
I guess I'll roll for the Arcadia.
Nope, Crowley beat you to it.
Oh, cool.
All right, so the 2 Burrells come in sort of like a pincer movement and catches your defenses off guard. they overwhelm one side of your shields and cause a pockmark across your hull. So you are considered damaged now, and this would be, as we come back around to your turn, this would be a prime opportunity to use the regroup.
That was the Burrell's last action?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I like regroup here. Or, this is our last action this round, though.
Yep.
Huh.
And then the Klingons get the first turn next round?
Yes.
Yeah, I like regroup.
Let's go with regroup.
All right, so you get to move one square, and then you get to roll the regroup macro.
Let the captain roll that macro.
All right.
I clicked regroup, I think.
All right. You know what? I'll be nice and say we'll go with the second roll. So yes, you are no longer considered damaged. But that is your actions for this round of combat. So up next is the Vorcha. It's going to move here, and that'll be its one action. And then we come back around to the Thunderchild. Is the only one on your guys' side left with an action.
What's the green square on Bellerophon in the station? The green
The
circle?
station has the green circle just to represent that there is additional Federation presence.
Oh, I see. Cool.
We could have the Thunder's Child do flank speed.
The Vorcha number 2 is taken out of combat, right?
Yeah, that's why it's got the X on it.
Okay. Should they just move as quickly as possible?
Yeah, I think flank speed would be good to get them into an attack position for next round as quick as they can.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I like moving them up with the rest of the group, up toward us.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do diagonals work?
I'm just going to count them as one.
Okay. Neat.
All right. And that is the Thunderchild's action. And that just leaves the Vorcha. This Vorcha is again going to move up 2 squares to about there. And this Burrell is going to start moving towards the station. So right about there. All right. And the only thing left is for the Burrell to continue to move up. And it's going to go right about here. And it too is going to beam over some compliments to the station. So that green mark goes away. All right, so the way we're going to handle the situation on the station is we're going to use the same attack and defense. However, we're going to be rolling it manually rather than, messing with the actual score. So I need one of you, to roll me 10 challenge die, please.
Ooh, we'll have to roll that.
I don't have the worst luck.
Well, your number to beat is a 3.
Hoo boy.
You can do it, Captain.
Let me regret everything I've said.
Very nice.
Ooh,
Or not.
Wow.
Yeah. So the Federation compliment, let me keep track of that with a... let's do a red bar. Let's see. We'll set it to be X and... there we go. So you want to see that red bar decrease. So it was at 3, it is now at 2. So
Gotcha.
2 more successful actions, and the station will be the Federation's. All right, so we've come to the end of this round. So we go ahead and reset everything. Reset. All right,
I can't
everything
remember.
should be reset.
Are Tri-Cobalt devices banned by Starfleet?
No. As far as I'm aware, they should be okay.
Okay.
I'm a little scared with where you're going with this, but all right. Let me just re-add all these circles again. That is the one thing I wasn't able to figure out. So all these circles get re-added. And all right. So at the top of this round, you do get a hail from the Venture, and they say over comms, Captain, we've engaged a Cavort-class bird of prey. Our arrival is going to be a little bit more delayed.
Understood, Venture.
All right. So, on the Klingons' turn, the Vorcha is actually going to advance to here and is going to do an attack on the Bellerophon. So they roll like shit, but, maybe the Bellerophon rolls well. Who knows?
Neelan, do you want to roll for the Bellerophon?
Sure. It's the orange one, correct?
It should automatically do it if you click the defense button.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, the circle to click is the orange one, right?
No, if you select the token,
Yeah.
you should see a bar upper left on your screen.
Oh, yep. Oh, okay. There we go. Defense. Oh.
Oh, yeah, so the Bellerophon takes a hit. Either, it gets caught with its shields down as, they're dealing with the transport, or simply that they were unable to move out of the way in time. But the Bellerophon is hit. All right, we come back around to y'all's turn.
I would like to suggest the Bellerophon does the regroup, and then we spend 2 initiative or 2 momentum to hold the initiative and attack the Vorcha.
I can agree with that.
Sounds like a good plan.
With the
Yeah.
Thunderchild or with the Arcadia?
I want to attack with the Arcadia. Or actually, I like the Thunderchild because the Arcadia can attack the Burrell.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so who's moving where?
Counselor, you had the Bellerophon. You want to do it?
Sure. Okay, so regroup is it moves 1 zone and then regroups. Okay.
Did it lose an action because it was damaged?
Yes, so it only has the 1 action.
Oh, that's interesting.
Gotcha. Jeez, OP. Let's move it. I think back here might be a decent option. But yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. And yeah, go ahead and click that lovely or is that no, that's the others. Yes, go ahead and roll the regroup to see what you do.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so unfortunately the Bellerophon is still considered damaged.
Hey.
And that is its 1 action. So yeah, you spend the 2 momentum to keep the initiative. Who's going next?
I think we want the Thunderchild to hit the Vorcha to protect the Bellerophon.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you going to be getting in range of the Vorcha?
The attacking move 2, right?
The attack run moves 1.
Oh.
Hmm.
They don't have Con 4.
Correct. They have security 4, so like the Arcadia and the Thunderchild, I should have mentioned this earlier. The Vorchas, the Thunderchilds, and the Arcadia, they get what is basically vicious on their effects. It hasn't really mattered thus far, but we'll try to keep that in mind moving forward.
In that case, let's have the Arcadia attack the Vorcha.
Yeah.
That helps protect the Bellerophon best.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll roll attack dice.
Yep.
Hey.
And yeah, you have no problem scoring a good hit on the Vorcha. And that means it is damaged and unable to act. All right. So we come back around to the Klingons. And this time, the Burrell is going to do something very similar. It is actually going to do a feint on the Arcadia. So you're automatically going to lose 2 defense. So you go down to 4. And it's pretty much going to sit there. And we come back around to the player's turn.
I think this is a really good opportunity to take either the Vorcha or Burrell out with the Arcadia.
I think we're better off trying to take out the Vorcha to try and protect the Bellerophon if we can.
So, do 1 action to bring the Thunderchild in? And to attack the Vorcha?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, we can. How about the Vorcha feint? Or the Thunderchild can't feint the Vorcha, right?
No, it needs to be adjacent.
Okay.
We could feint.
That's actually a good idea. Yeah, let's feint, and that counts as them having defended a couple extra times.
All right, so the Vorcha.
Yeah, I think the Arcadia should feint the. Well, the Arcadia could probably just take the Vorcha out with our second action.
It's also true.
Yeah, I think just a direct attack on it to try to disable it.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll your attack, and let's see what happens. We're gonna go with the 6. And yeah,
Ooh.
well, hold on. 1, 2, 3. They actually succeed, so nothing happens. Their defenses are going to match your offense. So that is your turn. So it comes back around to the Klingons, and the Burrell, seeing the Arcadia harrying the Vorcha, is going to do its best to get you off of it. So the Burrell's going to go ahead and attack the Arcadia. And your number to beat is a 5.
Come on, Captain.
No.
Yeah, so even with, let's see. I believe that means you are hit.
Our effects don't do
Well,
that
that's
on
what I'm
defense.
counting. So that's 1, 2, 3. You're right. It actually is a tie, so nothing happens. All right, so that's their turn. And I think all that's left is the Thunderchild and the other Burrell wing.
So, let's see here.
It still has 2 actions, so we could move it up and then have an attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Wait, do we have it come in there, or do we have it go down and start trying to deal with the other Burrell wing down there?
Wait, isn't it the Burrell's turn? Since no, they just went.
They just went.
Yeah, I like taking out the Vorcha here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so show me how you're moving the Thunderchild, just so I know it's clear. So are you going here, then here,
yeah.
then here?
I like the first one.
So here, then here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so that'll be the Thunderchild's movement. And then the Burrell's turn. It is going to do an attack run on the Bellerophon. So let's see how well they do. All right, Bellerophon, you need to roll better than a 5.
Oh, fun. All right. Make sure I'm still on the phone here.
Hey, you roll a 5. Look at that. Nice.
Oof.
All right, so the Bellerophon withstands the first attack, but it is now the Thunderchild's turn again.
Shoot the Vorcha.
Or it could take out the Burrell wings, and then we could take out the Vorcha.
Oh yeah, we get our turn next.
Mm-hmm.
But the Vorcha's already damaged, right?
Yes.
And so that's closer to getting kicked out than the Burrell are. Right?
But
Right.
if the Thunderchild does take out the Vorcha, well, never mind.
If the Thunderchild is able to damage the Burrell wings, they lose their next turn.
Well, they lose 1 action for their next turn.
Yeah.
Oh, do they still have another action?
Yes, the this Burrell here, the one that's on the same square as the station, has 1 final action.
Oh.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like taking out their last action. That seems really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and make an attack on the Burrell, and let's see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
they hold strong. All right, so we come back around to the Burrell, and the Burrell are really gunning for the Bellerophon, so they're going to attack it again. You only have to beat a 2.
Let's go, Bellerophon.
Ah, you still succeed. Very nice.
Ugh.
All right, so let me give all these circles back. And then I'll reset everything.
Oh, they lose the action going forward too.
Yep, as long as they're damaged, they only get 1 action. Let's see. Fleet reset. And that should reset everything. All right. Same thing with the station. I need someone to roll me 10 challenge die. And your number to beat is a 7.
Ooh, who's gonna roll this one?
Hey, look at that. So one more reduction of the Klingon forces on the station.
I like to keep it close.
So one more success, and the station will actually be able to start firing at things that are next to it. But it is the player's turn at this point.
Alrighty.
I think this Bellerophon has to get out of here.
Yeah.
Now we're trying to regroup again.
Yeah, we're behind the Thunderchild.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. So, go here.
Okay.
Then I roll the regroup.
Yeah, so unfortunately, doesn't repair
Jeez,
itself.
Pete.
Apparently, they transported their engineering crew over to the Narendra Station.
What's their target number when they do that?
Only a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, the target number is based on their scale. So it being a scale 4, target is a 4.
Okay.
All right, but that is the Bellerophon's action. And the Vorcha actually is going to do something very similar, and that it's going to back up to here and attempt a regroup of its own. It does not, however. So same boat as the Bellerophon, it's used all its actions, and it comes back around to the players.
I want to say Thunderchild does an attack run on the Vorcha.
If we do that, then the Burrell comes and attacks the Bellerophon.
Oh, that's true.
I think we need to attack the Bellerophons, or the Burrells with the Arcadia and Thunderchild.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Let's do... I guess it doesn't really matter which order we do, but I think the Arcadia is more likely to hit.
Okay.
So we do that first.
All right, so yeah, go ahead and make your attack against the second Burrell wing. Yeah, so they're going to get hit, and they're going to go down to 1 action. Very nice. So yeah, you're able to disable one of the 2 Burrells in formation. It's listing to the side and is kind of trailing plasma. However, on its turn, it is going to attack run over here and go for the Bellerophon.
Oh my. Alright.
This
ain't gonna be good.
that might be the end of the Bellerophon.
Sorry, everyone at home, and as part of the living campaign, your ship is now gone.
Alright, here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, so in true Klingon fashion, they blow off the port nacelle, and you would get reports that, obviously the clue of the Bellerophon is abandoning a ship as fast as possible. But about 3 minutes later, the entire ship goes up in a blast, and just nothing is left. Just a total debris field. So unfortunately, the Bellerophon has been completely destroyed. All right, so that is the Burrell's action, and we come back around to the players.
I think the Thunderchild should try to take out that Burrell wing that's damaged.
Yeah.
Or the Arcadia could do it,
That's true.
leaving the Thunderchild with more hits. Although, I do like hitting that other Burrell wing to get it to lose an action.
That's true.
Although on the other hand, if the Thunderchild can make a successful attack on the Vorcha, it could take out the Vorcha also. And then we could be down 2 different enemies at the same time.
I think
If successful.
I'm thinking the Arcadia makes an attack run on the Vorcha. And then, well, we can do that later.
Janice, hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Had a interruption on the return home, so that's my
okay.
bad. My phone died.
You're just in time to get involved with some fleet combat.
We just watched the Bellerophon explode.
So that's fun.
Well, how about this? The Arcadia does an attack run against the Vorcha. Next turn, the Thunderchild can do an attack run against the Burrell wing, too.
Or see what happens. Let's start with the Arcadia.
All right, where are you moving?
Just 1 forward, and then attack the Vorcha.
So as you move into that space, you hear explosions across the hull as a set of mines that had been previously
hell.
undetected hit
Son
the
of a
Arcadia.
bitch.
And because these are mines, it counts as hitting you automatically, so you actually lose the rest of your action. But you are also now considered damaged.
What?
Yeah, you didn't think the Klingons were going to go into this without some advantage, did you?
That sounds dishonorable.
But yeah, up next we have Burrell Wing number 1, and it is going to... it sees the Arcadia, sees the Thunderchild, and it's going to go after the Thunderchild. So the number to beat for the Thunderchild is a 6. Oh, would you look at that? That is a solid 8. All right, so yeah, I believe all that's left at this point is the Thunderchild.
Yeah.
Well, the Bellerophon's gone, so no point in trying to protect them over there. Attack maneuver to the barrel ring below.
Yeah, that seems good.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh. Oh, we just
Only
gotta
a
hope the
3.
Vorcha rolls garbage. Well,
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, so actually, you, because the defense succeeded, the Thunderchild is struck in return. So it too is now damaged. Literally everything in this fight is damaged, except the Burrell Ring number 1. Which is a problem, because now that it sees the Thunderchild has been injured, it's going to go after the Thunderchild. You only have to beat a 3, though. Hey, look at that. You succeed. Alright, so let me again refresh everything. And while I'm doing that, if someone can roll the challenge die for the fight on the station. Alright, a 9. Very nice. Oh, a tie, so it doesn't go anywhere.
Where's that venture class?
So it's actually about this time that you get another hail from the Venture. And they say, Captain Tahan, I got good news and bad news. Good news, we've disabled the Negvar class. However, we ourselves have sustained heavy engine damage. We are unable to get to you at this time.
Understood.
All right. So
Launching to Roddenberry.
So I did want to say that you guys can launch the Roddenberry. However, because it is a small craft and is scale 2, you would only have 2 attack and 2 defense. And while it's possible to actually get a 4 or something to beat out, say a 3, it's highly, highly unlikely.
Oh no, it's loaded with a tricobalt device. It's gonna ram into one of these ships.
No. I mean, if you want to blow it up, I'm not going to stop you.
No, that's awful. Damn. All right, let's. I don't know. Idea to have the Thunderchild pull back and attack this barrel ring at least.
Well, it is the Klingons' turn since we, alternate back and forth. So yeah, the unharmed Burrell, it's going to go after the Thunderchild again, and you got to beat a 5. Well, that is the end of the Thunderchild. So very similar to the Bellerophon. This time they score a massive blow on one of those connecting arms that connects the secondary hull with the primary. And the torque of the hit sort of tears the saucer section of the Thunderchild apart from the engineering section. And the Thunderchild is no more, as people are seeing as escape pods launch and shuttles launch, but at this point, it's just you guys.
They needed a better pilot.
I say we disengage right now.
Disengage or regroup, because it does make a difference.
No, we're outgunned. We need to disengage.
Okay, so you would get +2 defense, but that would be your 1 action to the remaining 3 of the Klingons.
Oh, it's only 1 move, though.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think regrouping would probably be better because at this point, one one hit on us will destroy us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Regroup.
Okay.
So I'm remembering now which directions the Burrell has flown. And the Vorcha can't hit us if we move backwards.
Correct.
Let's do that.
All right, and go ahead and click that shiny regroup button.
It's weird.
Nope. Still damaged. All right.
Can I use my free advantage to maybe give us a reroll?
Sure, why not? I'll let it happen.
Alright.
Since it's your, you want to click the button?
Sure. Please.
You needed a 6.
Damn it.
Oops. All right, so unfortunately that means it is the Klingons' turn. Interestingly, the Vorcha's actually going to regroup to here. Yep, it still doesn't repair itself. And then it is their turn again. So the Burrell wing behind you is going to regroup as well. It's actually going to go all the way out to here and regroup. And it succeeds, so it is no longer damaged. So it still has one action. And then this Burrell here is actually going to beam some more troops to Narendra Station. And for the Burrell Wing's second turn, it's actually going to move down here. All right, so again, as I reset everything, I do need you all to roll me some challenge dice. 10 challenge die for the Federation forces on Narendra Station. However, because the Klingons have beamed over their own party, I'm getting to roll 2 additional. So your number to beat is an 11.
I rolled 9.
Rolled 9? Alright, so we go back up to 2. Alright, and let me refresh these dots. I feel like there's got to be a way to do it, but I couldn't figure it out last night. Now, good news, as everything refreshes, you do see limping onto the battlefield is the USS Venture. And it comes in right about there. Now, I will say that it starts as damage, so I actually have to do that. But you now at least have another ship on the field. And it is your turn first.
I think the Arcadia still needs to regroup.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we can do at this point.
Come here and regroup.
Yeah. No.
Sadly, no. Unless one of you wants to spend determination.
Yeah,
I do.
I'll spend determination.
I thought you already did.
Oh,
No, I have a free advantage.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I have a determination point that'll relay into the situation about being the at home at the helm.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it does apply directly to this situation, does it not?
It would. I just need to know which one of you is using your determination for, bookkeeping's sake.
I'll go for it. I don't use mine very often. You guys use yours a lot.
All right, so yeah, go ahead and you're going to click the Arcadius token, and in the top left of your screen, you're going to see 3 buttons pop up. You want to click the regroup button.
Ooh, look at you.
Still not enough.
I would like to use my
No, you may not chain determination.
So, question.
Yes.
Effects don't count as 2?
My understanding is not for regroup. For attacks and defense, yes, but not for regroup. Now, I could be wrong. But my understanding is it's for attack and defense only. But let's look.
A damaged group or vessel may spend an action to regroup as noted above. If it regroups, roll challenge dice equal to defense, adding +1 for effect. If
it's in range of a vessel with engineering or medicine 4. So yeah, if the Bellerophon was still up, you would have been able to get a additional effect roll on that. But sadly, the Bellerophon is no more.
It's space dust.
So this Burrell here, the one on the station, again, is going to beam over more forces. This Vorcha is going to go here. Or no, it is your turn again, sorry. You do have the Venture.
I think it regroups as well.
Okay, where's it moving?
Closer?
Whoop.
Wait, can it do an action to look for mines?
Wait,
It could, but it would be its one action.
Is that a dreadnought?
It's the Galaxy refit. I was just lazy and reused a token.
How far would it be able to look for mines?
I would say that would depend on the amount of successes you get. I would say the actual act of scanning is a difficulty 3 task, and based on your successes or how many momentum you want to spend on a success, I'll let you know where mines might be. But for the Venture, if you're going to do that, that is going to be a 2d20, unless you want to buy with threat, some additional die. Your target number is, again, a 13.
And it's difficulty
Difficulty 3.
What do you guys think?
It's
worth a
Rather-
shot, I think.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can. Well, the Burrell can attack this turn, but that's not going to change based on what the Venture does. Oh, actually, we're in deep, so we kind of need the Venture getting into this. Or the Venture could work and try to get Narendra Station back on our side. Because right now you're at 4 dice above us.
Yes.
I actually really like that because Narendra Station's a powerhouse if we can get control of that.
I agree with that. Yeah.
It's also
Yeah.
one hit away from being destroyed. So are we.
Yeah, but that's not changing this turn no matter what we do.
Well, you could regroup with the Venture, but
I'm gonna, as Commodore, I would like the Venture to move next to Narendra Station and send over some more support crew.
okay. Go ahead and roll the 2d20 just to see if we get any momentum here.
And that's when we find mines.
All right. I'm going to say that you're only able to reduce the number by 1. So I'm now rolling 13, and you all are rolling 10 still.
Okay.
All right. So up next, we have the Vorcha. The Vorcha is going to regroup down this direction. Still does not repair itself. Up next is the Burrell Wing 1. It is going to fly up here next to the Arcadia, seeing a prime target. And let's see what happens.
Oh, gee.
All right, your number to beat is a 5. Well, look at that. So the Arcadia, injured as she may be, is able to fire out in a vicious strike with her phasers and is able to almost knock one of the Burrell out of the sky completely. So that wing is now damaged. Remaining is Burrell Wing number 2, and it is going to move... And I'll do it this way so you all can see it. It's going to go 1, 2, 3 for its first action. And then for its second action, it's just going to do an attack run on the Venture.
Oh no.
Well,
All right, Venture, your number to beat is a 6.
Never.
Doctor,
Yeah.
you want to roll?
come on, Doctor.
Oh.
No.
Damn it.
Yeah, so that is the end of the Venture.
Well,
All
son
right.
of a-
So this
Not gonna
is-
lie, I don't like fleet combat.
Yeah, it's...
Wait. With effects, that's a 7.
It would have to have a security score of 4 or above. It does not. So,
Bye.
Yeah, this is brutal.
This is about as brutal as I thought it would be. That's why I didn't want to prepare too much in case something like this happened.
Well, I liked this ship. It was pretty. It was cool.
We'll be back.
Um,
We'll be back in a couple weeks with new characters, guys.
Oh dear. All right. So as I mess with tokens here, let's do your roll for Narendra Station. All right, a 10.
Come on.
Nope,
Oh,
it goes
son
back
of a
another tick
bitch.
towards the.
I
Eh?
let me look at my determine my values.
Okay.
What's important is how we've lived.
Sure, I'll let it happen. I feel like throwing you guys a bone.
Oh, God.
No!
So close.
These are such good rolls.
They are. Alright, so unfortunately a stalemate is going on at Narendra Station. Now, at this point, as we roll back around to your guys' turn, I think I don't need to say that right now you are severely outnumbered. I will say, as your one action, if you want to flee the area, like completely remove yourself from combat, I'll let it happen. However, you will have to make a certain roll, similar to how you would leave normally from ship combat by warping away. Or you could stay and fight. It's really up to you guys.
Would the Roddenberry have 2 actions or just 1?
The Roddenberry would have its 2 actions, but launching the Roddenberry would count as your 1.
I want to stay and fight because right now, I think we're only going to be able to attack once maximum this turn. And so I think we take out Braille Wing 1, and our odds get a lot better.
But if we fail, though...
We fail defending the Federation.
I'm down with that. You're the captain.
All right.
I am. I'm going to attack Braille Wing 1.
Okay, let's see what you roll.
Oh,
A
Jesus.
6. 4. Burrell Wing 1 is gone. It is no longer. It is blown to little tiny pieces.
Risk
I'm
is our
assuming,
business.
Do you want to destroy the Burrells, or do you want to disable it like the Vorcha?
We're still Starfleet. We will disable it.
Okay. I'm going to start noting which ones are disabled. So that's disabled. That's disabled. The Bellerophon is super dead. The Thunderchild is super dead. The Venture is super dead.
Can I use my determination to launch the Roddenberry?
You could. I just have to find where I put the Roddenberry's token. All right, there it is. Let's see. Oh, joy. So this token isn't up to date. All right. Well, we'll do it live. Fuck it. All right. So let me adjust this real fast, and while I do that, this would probably be a good opportunity for you guys to discuss strategy.
I will say I'm using the holodeck to control the Roddenberry.
Okay.
So the captain doesn't have to go, why is he dead?
Yeah, that's my normal response. I like using the Roddenberry to keep the second Burrell Wing from getting to the Arcadia. Use it as a barrier.
Yeah.
It's a better match for those two, anyways, than Forja.
I'm gonna have it scanned from mines.
That's not a terrible idea. Although I assume it's not actually getting 4 actions.
It does because it's called Roddenberry, actually.
No, the Roddenberry has 2 actions just like everybody else, and I'm almost done copying the macros over. Sorry about that.
If there's ever a mini shuttle that can get launched from the Roddenberry, would it be called Rod?
Maybe?
Because Rod
Or the
Roddenberry.
berry.
Well, no, it actually has 2 microtorpedoes, so one's called Rod and one's called Barry.
Oh no.
Rod and Barry.
Oh.
And to think I rushed home for this.
Rod Roddenberry, if you're watching from home, I'm so sorry.
All right, the Roddenberry's token should be able to now do combat properly.
Sweet.
So where would you like to launch the Roddenberry? Where I've put it, or somewhere else?
There's good.
Okay. All right, so it will be the Klingon's turn, but then it'll be the Roddenberry's turn.
Okay.
All right, so the Vorcha is going to move, actually kind of seeing how things are going. It's going to move here, and it's going to try to regroup again. Still failing horribly.
Get wrecked.
That leaves the Roddenberry to move.
You want a sensor sweep for mines.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be your reason science. and the Roddenberry will assist with sensor science. And again, the difficulty is a 3.
I have a 1 on science, guys.
You can do it.
No focuses.
That's a big negative 10. Yeah, that's a big negative.
Big negative, Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright.
That's me.
Yep. So the Burrell wing is actually going to now kind of move up to here. And for its second action, it is going to move... Oh, hold on. It is going to move... Why is it doing this? It's going to move to there. And it sees the Roddenberry. It sees a small target. It's going to attempt to hit it.
Do I have extra difficulty to be hit because I'm a small thing?
Let me double check, because I do remember them saying it. Groups... from what I'm seeing, the only rule that Smallcraft has is that you get to move 1 additional zone as part of your move. Yeah, I'm not seeing any other Smallcraft rules. Alright, yeah. So let's see what happens. Well, you gotta beat a 4,
boy.
Roddenberry.
Let's go, Roddenberry.
Yeah, so that's a hit on the Roddenberry. And
Well, I have 2 plus effects, right?
That is even with a
Oh.
security of 4. Does the Roddenberry have a security of 4?
We'll check.
I
No.
think it does.
Yeah,
No.
then it's just a 2. So the Roddenberry is now damaged.
I will say again, fleet combat really sucks.
Yeah, it's
We're
nice
just getting-
and fast,
we're just getting
but
bad rolls,
it
that's all.
is it is very swingy.
It
Fate
feels like
is
we're
totally against us tonight.
It feels like we're more like paper mache than we normally are for like 1-to-1 ship combat.
Right. All right. So as I again reset all your tokens, if you would care to roll for the Narendra Station. All right, an 8 versus
Whiff.
a 6.
Yes!
That goes down to 2.
Oh,
Actually,
Lord.
hold up. That's too many. There we go. It goes down to 2. All right. Top of the initiative order. It is the Klingon's turn again. So the Vorcha is going to move here. And again, try to regroup. Hey, it finally succeeds.
No.
All right. Up next is your guys' turn.
Should we try and regroup as well?
Wait, so I have a question.
Yes.
With the disengage, that gives us +2 defense. That means we roll more defense dice?
Yes.
I kind of like doing that because we can hit them if we roll a lot more on our defense roll than their attack.
Indeed.
But if we don't, we die.
Oh, Lord.
Wait, is Burrow Wing 2 damaged?
Burrell Wing 2 is not damaged. Yeah, let me move the Bellerophon out of the way so you can see it a little bit better.
The Hulk of the Bellerophon just drifting through space.
Yeah,
Move our dead friends out of the way.
Could some of the escape pods be landing on Narendra Station to support them?
Maybe. I'll think about it as you guys decide what to do.
Because we're about to die. And we have no more help coming. This was a bad plan by the Admiral.
Yeah, I think we just regroup here.
Okay.
I don't want to move diagonally up and to the right because I don't know if there's mines there. I kind of want to just move backwards where I think we've already been through that square.
All right.
I would still, well, yeah.
Hey, look at that. You regroup.
Oh,
Damaged.
Thank God.
I'm just gonna lie down now.
Burrell Wing 2, unfortunately for the Roddenberry, is going to go after the Roddenberry again.
Pew 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 pew.
Yep. Yeah,
Oh.
I think the Roddenberry is no bueno.
Pretty dunzo.
Physically incapable of rolling higher than 4, which it just
Yeah.
did.
So I will say, to be nice, the
No,
Roddenberry,
destroy it.
The
Destroy it.
Roddenberry isn't destroyed, but it is pretty much pockmarked at this point. Like, there's more holes in it than anything else.
It's destroyed.
So I'll say it's disabled, but it's not destroyed. All right. And that makes it your guys' turn again, since you now have another action from regrouping.
We shoot the Burrell.
Okay. Nice.
7.
Let's
Okay.
see. With your effects, that's 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, there's no way the Burrell's going to roll an 11. Yeah, the Burrell did not roll an 11. All right, so they are now damaged and lose their turn. And then the Vorcha actually is just going to sit where it is. It's just going to sit there nice and pretty. All right, so we now do our lovely roll for the station as I reset everything. All right, 10, solid. 13 goes back to 3. Man, it is just a back and forth on Narendra. All right, let's see. I have to select you, you, and you. Fleet reset. All right, it is your guys' turn up.
I say we've.
I just want to shoot the Burrell here.
Yeah, I think that's the best option we have at
Try to
this
get that
point.
thing off the board, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm actually thinking do the attack run so we end up here, so the Vorcha can't attack us this turn. Not nearly as easily.
Okay.
I agree with that. Yeah.
We'll just move the corpse of the Roddenberry over here.
Oh,
Stop.
I'm pretty sure the Burrell's not going to roll an 8, so let's see. Yeah, so Burrell Wing 2,
Nice.
destroyed or disabled?
Disable.
Disabled. All right, see, things are looking up. You're regrouping with superior tactics, and things are starting to come in your direction. Interestingly, the Vorcha decides to sit where it is.
With that impressive sweep, we didn't make it bug out.
Nope.
Boo! Damn Klingons.
I'd say let's do a sweep for mines. The fact that it's hanging out there is suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
GM question:
Mm-hmm.
How far is a tractor beam?
It would be close range, so you would have to be for
In the same
this
grid?
in an adjacent square.
Okay, well, I was thinking about snagging the Roddenberry instead of not using it as an offensive, but okay.
But we are in an adjacent scare. We are in that.
Where?
Yeah, I can speak today. Yeah, the Roddenberry is technically in the same square as you guys. I just moved it so that you could see a little bit better.
I like the idea of scanning for mines.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
So
that's
was
actually
your
gonna
idea-
be Hai Long, since she's your science officer. Hai Long is rolling reason science, and someone is rolling sensors science for the ship. And because you have advanced sensor suites, the difficulty is only a 2.
I can do sensor science.
Kapla.
Ship always has a focus, right?
Yep. All right, there's one success from the Arcadia. How does Hai Long do?
Who's rolling for Hai Long?
Let Janice do it. He's not been able to roll on anything because he showed up later.
Oh, okay. Let me pull her out here. Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, damn it! Get on your A game here, Junior. There it is. What am I rolling for her?
Reason science.
Reason science. Raj. Science.
Did she have a focus?
Yeah, she's got a focus. All right, so you actually get a momentum, and with your with that scan, you're going to see that there's mines there, there, and there.
What can we use momentum for in fleet combat?
I'm basically going to let it sort of GM's discretion. I'll say you can add, say, a damage to your dice, and that probably would have changed things earlier if I'd said that, so I apologize. It's kind of an in-the-moment rule. We'll say we'll do it like normal Starfleet combat, so let me quickly throw that on the screen so we're all looking at the same thing.
Could we use it on trying to get Narendra Station?
Possibly. Where is... Okay, apparently I don't have it named that. What is it named? Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. Let me oh, right, it's on this page. I can just copy paste it. Duh. All right, so copy, paste. So yeah, we'll say that for purposes of fleet combat, you guys can do the bonus damage and the swift task. So basically, keeping momentum or keeping the initiative and doing one additional damage on top of what you would do. So not much, but hey, it's something.
Okay. I guess it's just the Vorcha left.
Yep, and the Vorcha, now that you've kind of sussed out where the mines are, it is actually going to move all the way down here, kind of keeping the station between you and it. And yeah, let's roll for the station.
I'm not sure if this will count as doing something, but can I tell the escape pods where the mines are at so they don't, explode?
Oh yeah, you can definitely relay this out to those that are, kind of sitting in space waiting to be rescued at this point.
What do you guys think of re-rolling this damage? I think we can get higher than an 11. I've done it several times.
Captain's discretion?
Sure, let's do it.
Commodore discretion.
Please, fleet captain is fine.
Wow, an 11. So actually it stays where it's at. Not bad. It's honestly not bad. All right, let me again reset everything. Oh, nope, did not mean regroup. Needed that macro. All right, so you guys get your 2 actions. It gets its 2 actions, and it is your turn.
I like moving adjacent to Narendra Station to maybe send some more troops.
Yep.
All right. And I'll just move the barrel out of the way. All right, so that'll be your 1 action. Would you care to retain the initiative, or shall it be the Vorcha's turn?
I'm not gonna. I don't think we need to keep it.
Okay. All right. In that case, the Vorcha is actually going to move to here. And that'll be its turn. So it is your go again.
Attack it!
Yeah, attack run. That's more fun.
Yeah.
That's when the mines explode.
All right, yeah, so you do an attack run on the Vorcha, and it is damaged and thus loses its action. But that is also the end of the round, so
Can
we reset everything, and we roll for the station again. Yeah, so that goes up to 4.
Meep.
All right, so Vorcha's turn. It is actually going to attack the Arcadia. And let's see what happens. Yeah, I think you can beat a 3.
Let's hope.
Sure, I'll roll.
Yeah. So you guys are easily able to disable, destroy,
Oh, disable, yeah.
disable the remaining Vorcha.
I feel like it's the Klingons would prefer to be destroyed.
Oh, most definitely. You keeping them alive is a grave mark on their honor.
Yep.
But with all that said, it is now your turn again. You basically have 2 back-to-back actions.
Work.
All right, so you want to beam over, I'm assuming, people to Narendra.
Yeah, twice, I think.
All right, so that's going to be a... God, I just had it. Where did it go?
Question for you.
Yes.
Could I be one of the beam overs? Not do anything for the station.
I'll say that if you guys beam over a named character, I will count it as 2 people instead of 1.
Los and another named character?
Crowley.
Okay.
Hand-to-hand combat.
All right. So I need whoever's doing the transport, whether it's well, Matic isn't here, but someone needs to do control engineering, and the ship is assisting with sensors engineering. The difficulty is only a 1.
Is that with the advanced sensors?
Yeah.
Dr. Janice, do you want to roll?
I'm checking to make sure because here, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty.
I think you want to use Alon in this case. He's
Yeah,
probably the
no,
best.
my engineering's 2. We'll lose people.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll get the mushy people on the other end.
The motion picture.
Matic is fighting the one Klingon that got on board with a knife somewhere in engineering right now.
Yep. Clearly.
So Nolan, where did my boy go? Alon.
While he's doing that, the ship is assisting with sensors engineering. If we want to roll that.
Okay, and it's control engineering, right?
Yes.
That it was systems engineering?
Sensors engineering. Yes.
Sensors engineering, okay.
All right. So that's 2 successes already.
Focus for the ship?
Oh yeah, focus. The ship always has a focus. All right, so that's 2 momentum. All right, so you guys beam over Crowley and Los, and I'm gonna make that be the case that it is now actually in your guys' favor. You're now rolling an 11, and I'm back down to 10. Hey, we go back down to 3. All right, and for all intents and purposes, it is a new round. You could beam over more people if you so wished.
I so wished.
Okay, named characters or red shirts?
We've got Cyril. He's a security guy. And
Gorns, there's a Gorn security officer.
Oh yeah, our unnamed Gorn security officer.
No, his name is Gorn.
Oh, his name is Gorn? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say go ahead and do another transporter roll because momentum could play in here. And I will now say you guys are rolling at a 15 versus my 10.
Do we need to do the transporter roll first?
Yeah, let's do the transporter roll first so we don't lose it.
Okay.
All right, so that's another momentum for you guys, and let's see if the ship gets you another. Hey, look at that. You're at a grand total of 4 momentum. All right, so let's see what happens.
You said 15 dice, right?
Yes, you are correct, and we go back down to 2. All right, so I would say at this point, you're able to beam over 1 more group. And it can be named characters, but just so you're aware, this is probably the last transporter action I'm going to allow. Because at this point, you've beamed over most of your crew.
Actually, I think at this point, we'd probably start rounding up escape pods from the other ships.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll just say the Arcadia is doing that then, and we will hopefully end this sort of roll of attrition very quickly. So, yeah, let's see. That's a 14. All right, that goes down to 1. And 1 more roll. Yep, that's it. The Federation have captured Narendra Station. All right, so
But at what
again,
cost? At what cost?
Yeah, at what cost? So, there is sort of a silence on all comm channels, and obviously space itself is silent, but it seems especially quiet as you sort of sit in the wreckage of 4 Burrell birds of prey, 2 Vorchas, what's left of the Roddenberry, what's left of the Bellerophon, the Venture, and the Thunderchild. But Narendra Station has held the line. The Federation seems to have kept control. And at this point, I think we're going to take our break. So be back here, guys, by no later than 5:10, please.
Alrighty.
Sounds good.
All right, BRB.
I like to think Crowley's just sitting somewhere in a
Wow.
hallway.
Wow.
Dim lighting, surrounded by unconscious Klingons and dead Starfleet.
A
Just
little
covered in-
smoky, little flashing lights, sparks coming out of the corners and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's just looking down at the floor, covered in green blood and red blood.
See, I show up and everything goes well.
Yeah.
I walk in, I'm like, oh, there's a dead ship. Wait, what? Another ship just died? Wait, we're missing a ship that got hurt? What the hell
We're
is going
missing
on?
3.
Yeah,
The smoke
that-
and the strobe light just makes me think that Crowley's sitting like in a Tony Scott film. I was the only one that got that reference. Damn it!
Oh, I chuckled.
Oh. Ow.
So let's say the Venture had what,
bumped my
1,000
cornrow
crew?
book.
That's close to 2,000 people just dead within the ships, potentially.
And I'm back.
Welcome back.
Ugh.
Yeah, that was tense.
How long would you say the Battle on Narendra was going since Crowley got there? Like,
I would say it probably takes the Federation forces on the station to get a hold of it. Probably 2 to 3 hours after your arrival.
So, in-game time, how long did that actually last?
If we're going by the show's metric, that actually was over within some span of 30 minutes to an hour.
Wow.
So all these ships that got destroyed and appear on screen later in time, those are the Bs. Thunderchild B, Bellerophon B.
Well, I mean, they haven't done an A yet, so they could come back. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
Or,
Or repaired. We don't know how bad they destroyed.
my
Well,
poor
the
Kira
Thunderchild
class.
saucer is literally drifting in space, and the secondary hull is kind of blown up. The Bellerophon completely gone. Half of the Venture's saucer section is intact, but it's very similar to that one episode of DS9 where the Jem'Hadar literally flies into the ship. So it's just got a gaping maw in its side. It might be able to be repaired, but it's going to take a lot of resources and work to do so.
Right. I assume during this we'll capture all of the Klingons from their ships, and they are now prisoners of war.
Yeah, we're going to address that when everyone's back, simply because it is a very important decision to make.
Okay.
go grab myself an ice cream cone.
Go do that, bud.
Ice cream cone of victory. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Make sure it has
that regroup you
sprinkles.
guys got off was very clutch.
Yeah, it was. Oh, Lord.
And I'm actually very pleased with how that turned out. It was exactly the right amount of difficulty and the right amount of tension for what I was hoping for.
It was
Yeah.
not looking good there for a while. It was looking really bad.
I was sitting there for a good while thinking, oh, great, well, I'll have to make another character. That'll be fun. I won't be ship's counselor this time.
The Roddenberry did its job, actually.
Yeah, it took some hits for you, so
Yeah.
It was meant to be bait.
man, repairing it though is going to be a doozy.
She'll never be the same.
Mm-hmm. Almost like I'm going to purposely nerf the stats to where they should be for a vessel that size.
What, the Borg cube didn't appreciate being blasted to hell?
Little column A, little column B.
Federation engineer restriction teams come in now, guys. That is not that's not legal. You have to turn back the throttle on the power supplies, and you can't run stuff like that through there. Type shit like that.
Yeah, Maddox's
the
heart's going to be
fun.
broken. This was his baby, and now I'm destroying it. Oh,
No,
well.
the Klingons destroyed.
It's not even here for the tears.
let me ask that: is everybody here? Because if we are, we can actually just jump back right in.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Is,
Red
is
leader
Crowley back
standing
from his
by.
ice cream zone?
Oh yeah, Crowley
Blue
was grabbing
leader
ice cream.
standing by. Oh, I'm here.
Okay. In that
Okay.
case, let's get to the big
Oh, cool.
BRB and keep going. So yes, as you start to sort of take in the aftermath and sort of suss out what's happening or what has happened. So if I had to put a number on the casualties, there were approximately 1,500 casualties on the Federation side, and the Klingons, however, have suffered about 3,000 casualties. So the Klingons have definitely taken more quote-unquote damage, but again, 1.5 people have either been injured or killed. And
I'll go ahead and take the
actually,
lead
I
on
have to roll
helping with-
something for the Admiral. All right, she's fine. So as the Arcadia, begins to go and pick up the escape pods and get as many of the survivors on on board as possible, you do get a call from Admiral Haru.
On screen.
So you see a very beaten and sort of battle-scarred Cation on the screen. Admiral Haru now has a gash that runs the length of her eye. And, kind of one of those stereotypical D&D marks where it's just across the eye and it looks really badass. She's got one of those that's freshly bleeding. You see that her right arm is hanging limp. And it has a nasty gash. Other than that, she's also sort of favoring her left side, almost as if something has happened to her right. But she kind of looks at you and says, "Well, Captain, it's good to see that you're safe. We've got control of the situation here. How goes things out there in space?"
Casualties are high, but we're doing everything we can to keep that number as little as possible.
Yes, I do have some good news at least. Our call for aid has brought in another ship who is not in my notes. Where did it go? Son of a bitch. An unnamed ship for the time being. An unnamed Federation ship is coming in to support us, and luckily it is a hospital ship.
That'll be most well appreciated, although we do need to prepare for the possibility of a counterattack by the Klingons.
Normally I'd say you're right, but based on the battle that occurred here and from what I understand out there in space, the Klingon captain in charge of this assault, one Captain Boclock. My understanding was that Boclock was killed when his Negvar went up. And since he was the main instigator of tension here on the station, I think we're going to be all right.
That's excellent news. I'll go ahead and start sending Dr. Sabo and his medical teams to the station, and we will do everything we can to protect everyone's life.
So while that's going on, and as I try to find what the hell I did with the name of the ship, what are you all doing besides picking up survivors? Is there anything in particular I should be made aware of?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
How do you feel about Carruthers doing something?
Well, what's he doing?
He's getting ready to beam over to Narendra with his friend.
Okay. So you beam on over, and you kind of see it's not like DS9. Obviously, the promenade is very much different. But you do see just railings that are bent or outright destroyed. You see bodies that have been covered up, both Klingon and Federation alike. You see that the Federation in control, the officers, are sort of trying to comb through the carnage and get a hold of the situation. But yeah, you and your buddy are just sort of in the middle of everything.
Well, he'll look up to his friend and tell him, "Now do what we practice. Find those in need. and tend to them.
Understood. And your AI buddy begins trying to collect those available. And give me one moment because my Akita has wandered in. Hello. Hi. All right. If
Oh,
she's gonna be.
that's Ensign Rouge.
All right. It looks like she's fine. She's just here to hang out. All right. So yeah, the AI begins sort of helping out the rest of the support staff. And I have finally found the ship I was after. It is the USS Pasteur, a Olympic class, which you may recognize as it has been or it potentially was the ship that Captain Beverly commanded in the final episode of TNG.
I remember that one.
Yeah. So yeah, trying to decide if I want to do this in a roll fashion or not. Let's say that the AI Crowley, you and Carruthers and the AI are able to assist best they can. So that's what you're doing. What is everybody else doing?
Can I safely assume that there are families aboard Narendra Station?
Oh yeah.
I'm going to beam over there and basically, if any families, lost family members during the course of this battle, I'm doing what I can to, I guess, help with the initial trauma.
Okay. Be a little bit grimdark here and say that with casualties numbering that high, you've got a lot of work cut out for you. If you were to sit down and start, counseling sessions right now, you're looking at months, if not years of work.
I'm gonna start some initial stuff, then later, probably end session when we do RP stuff, I'm gonna talk to the captain.
Okay. So that's Crowley and Milan. What are the other three of you doing?
So with a hospital ship coming into the area in dealing, I assume that they're going to be dealing with casualties on board Narendra and picking up and then dealing with the escape pods and everything. So does that mean that Sabo would be, imagine his priority would be any casualties on board the Arcadia?
Okay. Well, the good news is the only sorts of injuries you have are from blown out EPS conduits, nothing that you can't fix. I would say that luckily it does not seem that you need to do another Andromeda nanite infusion. Everyone seems to be in fixable state and, not in any danger of expiring.
Okay, well then in that case, once I deal with kind of cuts and bruises and things, I guess I would also beam over to Narendra and offer my assistance to people that are clearly higher priority.
Okay. All right. And I believe that just leaves Captain and Janice.
Janice, if you don't mind, would you help me, one, de-arm all of these mines, and two, I want to take some computer logs from all of these ships and see what I can learn about Klingon deployments.
Okay, do we want to take it off our wrecked ships? Because their ships are just disabled, so there's still people on there.
Well, we will beam them into confinement.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem, sir.
I assume Narendra Station has enough brig space for the Klingon soldiers, and we will...
It's going to be one hell of a squeeze, but yeah, they'll manage.
Oh, Crowley will make sure they squeeze in.
And also to give them any medical assistance they need as well.
Okay. For sake of argument, let's say that you have to convert several cargo bays of Narendra Station to, holding. And let's resolve you combing through logs. What would I want to make this? How about a daring security? And let's make this a difficulty 3 for you, Tahan. And this will represent how well you're able to pull logs from the Klingon ships.
All right. I'm wondering if any of my focuses apply here. For my cultural studies and infiltration, because I did used to work at that listening post, so I'm used to combing through data.
Well, narrative. Since we're doing this together, is this an assist on mine, or can he be an assist on me? Since we're doing it as a
you'd
team.
prefer.
Because my security is 4.
Same. I'm rolling at a 14 is my target number.
Okay, hold on. Because what is it? Security and what?
Daring.
Daring. Security and daring. Okay, yeah, we have the same number then, so it doesn't matter. Either one. So I can do the assist.
All right. And yeah, Captain, I'd say that one of those focuses would apply.
Awesome. How many momentum do we have?
You have 4 at the moment.
Let's buy 2 more dice.
Okay.
And what's our number? What are we trying to target here?
A 3.
Okay.
I see green. All right, so you get there's 3 successes right there. 4, 5, so you get 2 momentum back. Very nice. So I can go into more detail if you'd like, but basically what you find on one of the Vorcha classes is a commander's log which details the deployment of the area. And by the area, I mean the entire sector that the Narendra is in. There's my dog. The one thing that will stand out and is probably the most important thing is that currently the only ships in the area. Hold on. The only ships in the area are going to be sort of transport ships for the Klingons. So you could potentially contact them and begin the process of getting the Klingons off of Narendra. And while you think about that, I am going to go deal with the dog. So give me like 5 seconds. Or, give me like 5 minutes, actually. Sorry about this.
Okie doke.
Okay.
So Sabo,
Yes.
if you're on the station, you find Carruthers with his buddy. He's a big dude.
I don't believe I've met the AI.
No, the AI was just a program. Now it has a body that Carruthers has been working on.
Oh, wow.
And it's 6'8", military carbon black with red ligaments.
That's slightly menacing looking.
Faceless, except with a red slit going down the middle of its face, looking at people.
Oh, Lord.
It does have the blue shoulder paint, though, for medical. It looks like it was painted on.
All right, back. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
All right, so where were we? Yes, I was telling you about the Klingon deployments. Again, this is sort of a decision I'm letting you guys as players make rather than having the Admiral make it for you. You have the choice of either leaving the Klingons on the station, because remember, it was originally designed as a Federation Klingon sort of joint starbase. But you also have the option of having them mostly transported to Narendra 3.
Which is controlled by the Klingons, right?
Yes, Narendra 3 is the colony that the Enterprise C more or less saved. And, that's why... that's what led to the Kittimer Accords, and or maybe not the Kittimer Accords, but led to the current peace, or well, the past peace.
Yeah. I guess that would be the normal procedure, is to return them to the Klingons after the battle.
Okay. All right. In that case, I actually don't have much more in my notes, so if you guys have any RP you want to get out of the way, now would be the time.
Well, I mean, over time, I'm gonna slowly start taking apart the bad areas of the Roddenberry because my engineering is. Oh no, I'm security. That's the other character. Never mind. I'll shut up now.
Crowley would do a couple of things once everything was under more control in Narendra Station.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna look for Reeve.
So, unfortunately, Reeve was one of the casualties.
Then I'll go find Sin.
Okay. Sin is pretty much where you left her on the Arcadia. She has not heard the news yet, though.
Captain, is it okay if I use your ready room?
Yes.
Thank you. Sin, with me, please.
All right.
And I'll also call for Tara.
Okay. Let me just juggle some tokens here. There's Sin. Where is Tara? I thought she was on this map. Apparently not. Okay. Let's see. Commander Crowley. There's Crowley, and where? There she is. Well, she's not in her proper form, but you get the idea. And yeah, they just sort of look at you and, kind of questioning, what do you have to tell us, Commander?
As no doubt you saw that the Bellerophon was lost.
Yeah, indeed.
Most were able to get out, but it is with a heavy heart that I must inform you that Reeve did not make it.
So Tara immediately looks distressed, not to the point of tears, but she's obviously bothered. However, Sin actually looks rather stoic, and she says, I see. Well, this wouldn't be the first time he listed himself as a casualty to get out of, well, anything. So I will maintain hope that this is another one of his ploys to escape me.
I hope so too. He was a good officer.
Yeah, a little rough around the edges. I probably should have paid more attention to him during his training, but all things considered, here's to hoping.
That is all.
All right. So they just sort of filter back outside.
I'll go then a moment afterwards.
Okay.
And then sit back down at the XO chair, going over reports.
Okay.
I have an RP thing, but it would be a little bit like a week after the fight kind of thing.
That'd be fine. Who's it with and where you want it to happen?
Unless I have a room. Well, Narendra Station's probably. There's like a captain's dining room, right?
Technically on the Sovereign, you have a full officer's mess if you so wished. I just don't have a map for it.
So this was inspired by Commander Crowley's cookout nights.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be sharing with them one of my favorite meals from when I was a student on Earth. And it's a Texas chili cookout.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah. Invariably waiting for someone to ask where the beans are, and I will tell them there are no beans in Texas chili.
But they're like, Captain, no offense, it's chili. You should have something.
No, you see, it's chili con carne, not chili con carne and frijoles. Different thing.
One of the uppity ensigns looks at you with narrowed eyes, like if you weren't the captain, he'd be going under this long tirade about how wrong you are, but since you are the captain and he is a lowly ensign, he is not going to say anything else on the issue.
Yeah, but it's chili. There's some actual beer from my diplomatic supplies, and just as a way for the officers to relax after the battle.
I gotcha. All right. What does anybody else have anything?
After what I'm supposing is this Texas chili dinner, I'd actually like to find a time to privately speak with the captain.
Okay. Captain, I'm assuming you would be easily pulled aside.
Absolutely.
Captain, I oh, okay.
There you go.
After what I saw on Narendra Station, and for the first time since you've seen him on the ship, you actually see him kind of break and tears start streaming down his face. I believe that maybe my skills might be more needed on Narendra Station than here on the Arcadia. What was there was months, if not years, of work. And I feel like I may be able to help them. I mean, I'm not sure how many counselors are on the station, but they could certainly use more.
I understand, Counselor. We go where duty requires. I'm going to miss having you on the ship, but if this is what you want to do, you will have my full recommendation.
Thank you, Captain. And he kind of, straightens up a little bit, and he just kind of walks off. And if anybody would need to talk to him, he would be in his office.
Unless, of course, Counselor, you're just not up to treating our sick minds on the Arcadia. It's a joke, Counselor.
He doesn't take it as one, and he walks out.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Do I sense this?
You would sense basically seething anger after that.
Be holding a glass of Betazoid juice. I just look to the captain and look to Delon. Back
Oh,
to the
he's
captain.
gone by that point.
Yeah, he's gone.
Just giving the captain a look like, what did you just do?
Well,
Yeah. And that's all I have.
all right. Well, if no one has anything else,
I do.
okay, what you got?
After seeing this with Delon, I'm gonna go follow Delon.
Oh God.
Okay, all right, sure.
Yeah.
Hello, theater of the mind.
It's a wonderful place, isn't it?
Look at the flowers.
Pull
The
up a
sunshine.
chair.
Yeah, I guess I'll try and flag him down the hallway.
Okay.
He
I'm gonna-
he slows his step, but doesn't really stop.
Hello, counselor.
Commander,
Can I show you something?
if you must, yes.
Follow me to the holodeck, please.
Alrighty. And I'll follow him to the holodeck.
When we
Alright,
get there,
so-
I'll go up to the pad and go, computer, load up program Crowley Donager 1. And
So,
open the
Peter
door when ready.
materializes your program, as has been mentioned in the past.
I'll walk in and let it play for a loop. Look to Milan. This is where I said goodbye to my second mother. The one I spent the most time with. She was the chief engineer of the Dodger. Very brilliant woman. And I play this episode, well, I used to, quite a bit actually. Even after being counseled and aboard the old Arcadia. I know we've had a few talks. And I know that you're in a sick bay, checking up on me when I was being borged and unborged. But even with this battle here, it still doesn't feel as real as this moment. This here. This is harder than actually losing my real parents. I lost them, and I couldn't process it as a kid. They were there 1 minute, and then when I came back out, they were gone. And they were... The counselors as a kid told me that I couldn't remember the memory. I repressed it. But I always remembered. They were mummified in space. It didn't hit as hard as it did hearing her be engulfed in flames. That last scream. That last emotion of agony. That almost drowned me to the point where I was going to stay aboard and go down with the ship. But something in me told me no, I had to move on. And for the longest time I thought I did. I took the position of the Arcadia, and I continued my career of Starfleet to move on. But I never really did. I made this replica, and I would relive it once a night. But then it slowly became once every couple of days. And now that this war is happening, I can't be held back here. And for the few talks we had, I just wanted to say thank you. You've been the first counselor where I felt like you wanted to listen to me instead of just tell me of how I should adjust my views. So, I wanted to thank you. I want to say, computer, delete all programs related to Crowley Donager permanently.
Please confirm command.
Confirmed.
So the computer beeps and churns, and around you, the holodeck just disappears back to being normal.
Thank you, Nilan. Keep doing the work you do.
You would sense basically pangs of like many different emotions. Sorrow, a slight sense of fulfillment of having been able to help Crowley, and he just kind of gives a very curt nod and actually holds out his hand to Crowley for like a handshake.
I do the forearm grasp and give him a hug, actually.
Surprised by this, but Lon does hug him back.
If you never need.
I'm not quite sure how to react, if I'm going to be honest. But to know I've helped an officer kind of... It's a lot to take in. Because in helping the people I have, you hear reports of how they're doing later, but rarely did I ever get thanks in person like yours. And he, again, just kind of breaks, and you just see tears start to stream down his face again.
You have a good heart. And you have strong shoulders, because you want to carry and help those people with burdens lift that load and move forward with them. So keep doing it. Either here, on Narendra, or wherever. I think you're always going to try and help people.
Thank you, Commander. And I turn to walk out of the holodeck. And unless Crowley stops me, I'm going to leave.
I'll watch him leave, and then I'll look one last time, and I'll say goodbye before heading out of the holodeck.
All right. And I think actually that is a perfect moment to end the session on. So I'm guessing, just we'll handle this before we go off the air. I'm guessing, Nolan, that something's coming up in your schedule or changing.
Actually, no.
You want to change characters?
Yeah, if you
Well,
want
no,
to.
I don't. It's not that I want to change characters. I kind of felt like that was a good moment to like, not retire him forever,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of pull like Sam Riegel from Critical Role, where he played Tyrion for a hot minute,
Okay.
Oh.
and basically, however long you would say it would take to go through that counseling, that's what I would play that character for that length of time, and then bring him back.
Okay. We can certainly work with that. I just wanted to know, on air if I needed to say thank you for playing, things like that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not leaving anytime soon. Just like figured that might be for Nolan, that would be a higher calling than his duties on the ship.
Yeah, that is very understandable. Okay.
Yeah.
With that said, I also do want to handle our reputation rolls. While I figure out that and I tally it up on my end, if you all could vote for who gets the spotlight.
Ooh.
I want to give it to Sabo. I liked my interaction with him when we were having our meal. I liked it.
I was gonna
I have to vote for the counselor, which, yeah,
I would, but like if he's leaving, like, oh no.
yeah, I know, but
I'd put my vote towards the captain for his coordination during that battle.
I second that.
That was a good one too, yeah.
All right. Well, Captain, it seems you have the majority. Then you get a spotlight.
awesome. That might be another arc for me. I'll double check, but
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, if you guys haven't found it already, if you click the little cog on your character sheet, it'll actually give you somewhere on that cog page, it does say a character development thing. So it will show you, assuming you've been filling it out, it'll show you how many milestones that you might have saved up. Oh, and
Yeah.
everybody does get a regular milestone. It's just the captain that gets a spotlight.
Gotcha.
okay, yeah, that was my fourth spotlight, so that would be my next arc
Well, there you go. Look at that.
because each one is more spotlights than the one before.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
So everyone gets a normal milestone.
correct.
Okay. Cool. I'll have to
And
figure
remember, you don't have to use it. You can bank it for later. For reputation wise, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it a little bit differently. For the counselor and the doctor.
Okay.
Actually, let me be even more specific. So, Nalan, I'd like to award you 4 reputation rolls.
Okay.
Dr. Crowley and Janice, I'd like to give you 3. And Captain, I'm going to give you 3, but there is going to be 2 negatives. And those 2 negatives are going to represent the fact that, circumstances as they were, you did kind of lose ships under your command. And hopefully
Okay.
you feel that's fair, because I'm kind of struggling to, not like court-martial you, but I do have to give you some kind of, anti-roll for it.
so 3 with 2 negative.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. So 4. I'm trying to remember, what's the reputation privilege for lieutenant commander, if there's any?
Well, let's look it up. Also, my Akita's back. Hi. Well, if my PDF would also stop freezing, that'd be great. Let's see.
Ooh, oh god, I am capped.
Well, how many did you get total? 3?
Well, I think that is all underneath my responsibility. Yeah, 3.
Okay.
So I think
Actually, that one counts. The 1s and 2s count twice. So you gain a total of 4 reputation.
I'm going to look at the awards.
Yeah, I would say look at the medals.
So I'm
See, so
trying to.
I would gain 2 reputation from that.
Correct, and so would the doctor, I believe.
So
I rolled 5 successes.
So you will then go up by 3. And I'll
See,
say the
so-
same thing, Captain. If you want a medal that's cost 3, just let me know.
Yeah, I'll take a look at those between sessions, I think.
Okay.
and seeing that reputation of 15, is that the one that's for
You will.
possible promotion?
Yeah,
Or-
so your roll above, the first time you go above 15 is fine, but any rolls you make above reputation 15, if you would increase further, that's when you can be offered a promotion.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. So basically, now that I'm at 15, if I would get a success, that's when I could get promoted? Is that how that works?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So it looks like I get 2.
Yep.
Okay, let me see.
All right. Well, I think that's all I wanted to do on screen because I know people do like seeing that. Of course, players stick around for a little bit longer, but to anyone watching on Twitch or YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this gave you a good kind of glimpse at how fleet combat works in the system. And I will hopefully see everyone next week. But for now, I'm signing off. Bye-bye.